Hey everybody, today is December 31st, 2019. Yesterday we received news that Georgia Tech recruit Bryce Gowdy, a star wide receiver from Deerfield Beach High School in Florida, died at 4 in the morning. And the story goes that he was hit by a train at 4 a.m. In this video we'll discuss the numerology of this death, which should help turn people to the knowledge that some of these deaths that seem suspicious might have a lot more behind them going on than we thought. And this is definitely the case here. Consider the fact that Deerfield Beach is the city that recently instated an assault rifle ban, forcing law-abiding citizens to turn in their weapons. So there's definitely something up with this community. And it should be brought to attention that this man could have very well been killed. And as we commonly see with murder by numbers, this was done heavily by the code. And when we talk about the code, we're talking primarily about the language of Gematria, the idea that every letter doubles as a number. The most basic cipher in Gematria is called English ordinal, where each letter is numbered 1 through 26 relative to its position in the alphabet. The reduction, or Pythagorean method, reduces each double-digit number to a single digit prior to adding it to the equation. We also have complementary ciphers called reverse ordinal and reduction, which is the same as ordinal, but with the alphabetic order reversed, so Z is assigned 1 and A gets the value of 26. Let's start off with the name of the man who was killed yesterday, Bryce Gowdy. Using the alphabetic order, B the second letter, R the 18th, and so on, the name Bryce Gowdy has a numeric value of 127. In the reduction value, cipher, wide receiver Bryce Gowdy also has a value of 127. We're told that he died because he was hit by a train. Using the standard alphabetic order, hit by a train also sums to 127. And as this news story states, this kid was on his way, literally packed, headed towards Georgia, where he would be attending college. Notice how Georgia, in the reverse order, also has a value of 127. In the standard alphabetic order, Georgia sums to 62. Gowdy would have been a student at Georgia Tech University. Georgia Tech also gives us a 62 in reduction. So this makes it especially interesting that he was hit by a train. In the alphabetic order, train equals 62. Now, although this man died on December 30th, most people are seeing this news today, December 31st. Today's date numerology, 12 plus 31 plus 19, also gives us a 62. We'll look more at these date numerologies in a second. I want you to also notice the 17, as this is a very significant number to this story. Not only did December 31st have numerology of 17, but Bryce Gowdy was a 17-year-old. And if you look up his Twitter account, you'll find that he had a nickname, which was Simba. In the reduction method, Simba gives us the value of 17. Also notice the 44 in Simba. This is the same as the word kill, 44. The name Bryce Gowdy equals 44 in the reverse method. He was getting ready to play for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, which equals 44. And Georgia is one of just 2 states with Gematria of 44 in the reduction method. As I pointed out, Gowdy was 17 years old, making the fact that he was hit by a train even more interesting. In the reverse order, hit by a train equals 170 and 71, a lot like the number 17. Bryce Simba Gowdy was his nickname, which is 171. The number 17, however, is a prime number. It would be the 7th prime number, and it just so happens that Bryce Gowdy wore number 7. Today's news also falls on a date with numerology of 55. We call this the life lesson number, 12 plus 31 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9. The phrase hit by a train equals 55, just like the name Bryce Gowdy, also 55. Now, the date that he actually passed away was December 30th, which had primary numerology of 81. Bryce Simba Gowdy summing to 81 in the reverse order. 81, a number of ritual, which is 81 in both the standard and reverse alphabetic orders. So in my videos, I also talk about how these events appear to be related to total solar eclipses. This comes from the New Testament, where Jesus is crucified when darkness falls over the sky during the daytime. The 2019 total solar eclipse was on July 2nd. And if we measure from that date to the date of Bryce Gowdy's death, we get a span of exactly 26 weeks, which is the same as if we measure to today's date, December 31st. The word train equals 26 in reduction, so does the name Bryce. Also worth noting that 26 weeks is 182 days, and this man had just committed to become a yellow jacket, which equals 182, and 142, which is the value of eclipse sacrifice. So definitely some wild numerical alignments here that should make us think twice about the truth of this story. I was going to look at potential connections with Trey Gowdy as well. There's certainly a couple here, but nothing that I think is too significant. Primarily, this is a ritual having to do with the date numerology and this guy's name. Also consider how many of the numbers that I talked about here, 127, 62, and 55 in particular, these are numbers having to do with the Metonic cycle. Notice how Metonic cycle has a value of 127, 55, and 62. And I talk about the Metonic cycle as an incredibly significant cycle of time in astrology that seems to be involved with suspicious deaths like this. And the reason I think we're getting such a wild Metonic cycle tribute on this date, first of all, the only number I didn't mention was 197 in the reverse order. Well, look at the year that Deerfield Beach High School, where Bryce Gowdy was a student, was established, 1970. The Metonic cycle is a period of 19 years. And consider how this event is coming to the forefront of the media on the final day of 2019. So I think that's definitely a part of this as well. Either way, people should be thinking twice about what really took this kid's life. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That'll do it for this video. Everybody have a fun and safe New Year, and we'll talk to you again in 2020. Thanks, everyone. Peace, love, God bless. See ya.